I think that's good. Pretty bright, but that's okay. Well, hello everybody. I'm your host, NikoTheLegend, and today we're gonna be doing more the Niko show. Wow, how long has it fucking been? Maybe like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. I'm getting really bad at this. I'm supposed to be doing this once a week, but I just haven't been doing it. I guess because, when you have a birthday and you celebrate it all weekend, you don't want to do it, or you got a second job and you got to go here and do all the paperwork, and then you got some really fun games to play, and then you're streaming and playing games and, doing stuff at home, and then yard work. It kind of gets a little hard. Although, like I said, there have been times where I've been playing games quite a bit, like Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And, that could be the time where I could be streaming this right now. But time and place for everything, am I right? But I will say this. I do apologize for being late. Like 2.5 weeks late. But as I mentioned a little bit ago, that there have been a lot of time-consuming things that I have been doing. And, it's not like I haven't been streaming at all. It's not like I haven't been adding anything to YouTube. But the Niko show is something that we can all relate to and actually talk about. Oh, and before you guys, just let you guys know, I don't see the chat right now. I don't have the chat on right now because this is a show. You guys are supposed to just be entertained. And you guys trade ideas back and forth while I do the talking. And then if you want to talk about something, we can... at the end of the stream, or when I stream Castlevania after this, which I'll repeat that I'm streaming again at the end of the stream, or you can talk about it in the Discord server, or if you want to direct message me, whatever. Any type of opinion you got, or any type of thing you want to talk to me about, we can do that. It's not a problem. But during the show, I just gotta get through the topics and stuff because a lot of these times we can get into all kinds of stuff. I like this, you like that. I don't like this, I don't like that. No, I think this is great. And debating over on stream when it's me against text, it just doesn't work out that well. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows it's just an endless war. Now, can you just imagine text to text? Twitter, Facebook, yeesh. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. Like I said, welcome to the Niko Show, episode 32. And there are 4 articles we're going to be talking about today. I know that sounds a little short, but a couple of them are pretty long. And I'm going to try to get through them as best I can. So I hope we can do it. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to. Hold on a second. Okay, good. I was just making sure that we came up or something. So so as I always do before we get into the actual good stuff, just like to talk about myself in real life. So I've got a second job as a personal trainer at this gym that I work at. And what do I do with this job? I am a personal trainer. And, don't let the shirt and Mario hat fool you. ACE certified. By the way, I'm the only person that's one of the... Let's see. There's 2 people that is ACE certified at this gym, which is the program that I went into. Top of the line, top, the most elite, is me and then one other female trainer there. And then the other 6 trainers are all not ACE. They're all NASM or... ACAA or something like that. But anyway, so yeah, I got a second job as a personal trainer. I technically started as an independent contractor about a week and a half ago, and it only was about maybe like half a week ago that I got all the paperwork stuff done. I'm still waiting on getting my certification in the mail, like the certificate, to show them. I have printed out a proof of passing the exam, but they want the actual fucking diploma thing. And then proof of insurance, liability insurance, and that is something that you have to get if you're an independent contractor. Although I was hired by them to train there and be allowed to train there, I set my own hours, and I have to find my own clientele and everything. It's kind of like first come, first serve. Also, just timing, and then when people want to come in and get a taste of what this gym is all about, kind of like orientation stuff. If they want to sign up for a time that I signed up to be available to help them with orientation, then that's when I come in. That's kind of how I get the clientele stuff, the clients going. Other than that, it's just me against the world. I'm the rookie, and I'm pit up against 7 pretty fit female trainers. Go me! No, just kidding. No, it's going to be great. They're going to teach me a lot of stuff as I see what they're doing. My fitness director, who's the head trainer, I call her Sensei. She is amazing, and she gave me this opportunity, and she hired me on the spot, basically. So it's fantastic. So thank you once again, Sensei. I appreciate it. Don't worry, my eyes weren't looking down. They were looking straight, but you couldn't see because of the hat. I learned some things from Kung Fu movies. So, yeah, it's a great thing. Although I don't have to be there, I can decide if I want to only be there to train people or orientations. But as this gym, as this playground, as this temple, whatever you want to call it, I like to take care of it, though. I like to actually go there and pitch in and helping out the owner of the gym, just kind of putting in some muscle into it, organizing the weights, seeing if anybody needs help, some advice, or if they're doing any, help is in, if they have poor form, I can jump in and, lend them my, show them how to properly do the weightlifting techniques. And just anything else, just putting my face out there, making myself more hey, I actually exist. I'm not just some picture on a wall, just some smiling face. I actually would like to just be that friendly face. And you never know, someone could come in and be like, I want to sign up for a membership. I want an orientation. Boom! Come to me. Because I don't have any clientele right now. Now, trainers who do have clientele don't have to worry about coming in as much, only when they are training somebody. But other than that, they probably don't even show up there just to be there. Be like, haha, I'm helping everybody. I'm just trying to put my time in, trying to make it worth my while, trying to be really a part of the family. So anyway, I'm eternally grateful. I'm happy to be working here. It's working there. It's great. And pretty soon it will get busy for me once busy season comes around. Right now it's dry season. There's nothing too amazing right now. Orientations are very far in between as well, so you got to really, really put in 110%. So I plan on going there tomorrow for an hour or two just to help out or just hang out, learning how to do the stuff there, because I still got to learn all the technical stuff like signing up people for orientation, scanning cards, stuff like that for people who are members, and looking up spa times or It's a bunch of stuff. It's a brand new system, so I don't want to unfamiliarize myself by not being there. Oh god, a sneeze is coming. I will cheers to that, mate. So that's the biggest thing that has happened to me, and as we all know, 2.5 weeks ago, I did get certified by ACE, which is fantastic. And then my birthday was this past Saturday, which was great. Had a little nice cookout, had plenty of leftovers from the barbecue. Had a few friends come over that could make it. Thanks, Deal, for helping out with everything. I was supposed to thank him in person and be like, hey, I appreciate everything you've done this weekend. But if you're listening now, man, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for helping out with everything, and just everybody else, my roommates. Thank you so much. And if he doesn't hear, I'll just tell him anyway. But anyway, yeah, it was great. Although some people couldn't have made it to the party, we still had a few friends. We played Super Mario Party. We had a blast. Breaking up the friendship. No, just kidding. That actually didn't happen. But we had a good time. We played some Mario Kart, Super Mario Party, hung out, had some food. I mean, there's nothing really. I made a toast. It was great. And then Sunday, I celebrated my birthday again with my family. So friends on Saturday, family on Sunday. So it was pretty nice. Yeah, I had a nice family dinner. I mean, typical feast. And I'm eternally grateful. Parents, family that came, and it was great. Got some nice birthday gifts, got some birthday money, got some more leftover food. I got so much. Well, the meat's running out, but I have a lot of hamburger patties, turkey burger patties. In the fridge, so I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to make it. It's I'm gonna try to eat it all without dying. Well, just bro, fuck, it's a good party. You guys gotta try it. But anyway, yeah, it was a ton of fun, and it was nice having 4 days off PL time, paid leave of absence. Woo! And yeah, thanks everybody who stopped by and helped make the birthday celebration a great one. And sorry for the people that couldn't make it. I get it. Shit happens. Life happens. So those were like the two biggest things that have happened. Let's go into gaming. Well, recently, okay, this month has been a little ridiculous. I know I'm going in kind of heavy with this stuff because this is what happens when I got to play catch up for a little bit. I'm sorry about that. We'll get into the topics right after this. So this October has been like pretty insane with game releases. So you had Mega Man, you had Super Mario Party, Black Ops 4, Red Dead Redemption 2 coming, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Fuck! Fist of the North Star game. I think Starlink came out, and then, you know, a bunch of Soul Calibur 6. You got the Dark Souls trilogy coming out this week. Like, holy fucking shit! October is packed with games. Jesus Christ, how do you expect us to fucking pick? Well, luckily I got 3 games out of that whole list. I got Super Mario Party for the Switch. By the way, it's a really fun game. You should try it, even if you do value your friendship with your friends, family. I got Mega Man 11, thanks to Deal, as a birthday gift. And then also thanks to Deal and friends, from other friends, that they helped pitch in to get me Assassin's Creed Odyssey for PC. And holy shit, this game is so badass. This game is so freaking great. Look, I get Assassin's Creed may seem washed up, may seem like it's run its course, but hold on. This game, I never played Origins, okay? I didn't play the new approach to Assassin's Creed, but this game, this Assassin's Creed is fantastic. It is amazing so far. I spent maybe about 11 hours into it. 12 hours? 11 hours? I'm not entirely sure. I made it to the double digits. Blech! But this game so far is amazing. Graphically, the story so far, the gameplay, the freedom. There's like no loading screens, bro. Only when you fast travel, which you can't. There's not as many fast travel points in this game, which is great. I think there's like a few for each region or something, but it's very far in between. Like I said, gameplay, graphics, music, RPG choices, picking male or female in the beginning. It's just like there's, as a main character, you can play them, and it's just amazing, like so amazing. The loot you can get, the different, this is such a bizarre Assassin's Creed because it's got multiple different aspects from different games. You got a bit of The Witcher in there. You got like a typical BioWare game making choices. You got Destiny 2, or you got Destiny. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but you know the good things from Destiny, like the loot stuff. I think I said The Witcher, and then Breath of the Wild, and a couple other games. Like it's amazing. It's so amazing, but it still retains its Assassin's Creed identity. You can still go around assassinating people, sneaking around, hunting things, crafting things, getting loot, leveling up and stuff. Leveling up is Assassin's Creed Origins thing, but Odyssey is fantastic. I've never been so engrossed in the world of the Greek mythology, of the Greek times. It is fantastic. It's a beautiful, beautiful world come to life, and I really think you guys should check it out. If you can't afford it right now, don't worry. It's Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft games. They go dirt cheap in no time. And there won't be an Assassin's Creed next year, so you got plenty of time to catch up. But this game is going to be huge cost on time for game time. It's just crazy. I do want to play it all over again as Cassandra, as the female protagonist, to see how that turns out with the story and play it in a different way. Anything with RPG mechanics in the game, the like choice and dialogue stuff, and they do a pretty good job with this, by the way. They actually have it impact your story, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty great so far. It's just fantastic. There's so much to do in the game, but at the same time, it's not overwhelming. It's seriously not overwhelming, at least for me. I just think it's so far it has been a near perfect game. Like it's just near perfect. I love it. I hope it has a satisfying conclusion or an ending. I really do. And yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on that. And 96 hours in Dragon Quest XI so far. Still doing in-game stuff. But yeah, that game is fantastic. Super Mario Party is fantastic. I highly recommend it if you're a Switch owner. Mega Man 11 is a fantastic game. Don't let those critic reviews get the better of you. It's actually just go to the Steam reviews and listen to what the actual players like you and I would like to say about the game. I love Mega Man 11. I think it's a great addition to the franchise. If you're expecting it to have a fantastic story, it's fucking Mega Man, okay? It's just like a Castlevania game, like the old school Castlevania games. There wasn't much story, like, bleh, I'm a vampire hunter, I'm going to kill Dracula. Dracula sounds like vampire hunter now. But you get the idea. It's simple, like a normal Mega Man game. It's hard, like a Mega Man game. Fantastic music, great graphics, great gameplay. I mean, it's awesome. It's definitely worth the $30. I definitely recommend anybody to pick that up. I mean, what is it? People complain, like, it doesn't reinvent anything. What do you expect it to do? Just like completely just become like first person or something? Like some Metroid Prime shit? Although, it's not a bad idea sometimes. But it's like, it's just another great Mega Man game. I mean, they're all the same. You kill 8 Robot Masters and you beat Wily. Big fucking whoop. It's the same game, which is fine. It's just modernized, and it looks great. So anyway, that's about the real life stuff so far and the gaming stuff. And like I said, if you're just tuning in, I can't see what you're saying. And I could have the chat up, but I just want to get through this stuff because it's the NIKO show, and you guys are supposed to be just here, just watching, listening. But if you guys do have some opinions about what I'm going to be talking about, otherwise, when we're about to get into the topics, just share it with each other. No big deal. Like I said, if you want to contact me on YouTube, Twitter, Discord, here, when I stream Castlevania after this, by all means, we can talk about it there. Although, I don't know how long this Castlevania stream is going to be, because I'm on the last level. But, if I do finish it way ahead of schedule, well, it will just depend. I mean, I don't mind hanging out afterwards and just talking to you guys. I don't know. But anyway, so, let's get to these articles. Alright, I've said my piece. I hope you guys are having a good time so far. Actually, let me look at the chat now. Okay. Alright, good. So, Griff can hear me. Alright, hey Griff. Sorry, I just looked at the chat in case you guys are saying, I can't hear you, NIKO. I can't hear you. Okay, so now we're getting to the news article stuff. And, yeah, let's get on with the show. Get on with the show. Find out if you blow. Find out if you got some big toes that you're trying to get real low in the groove. Okay, sorry. All right, let's see here. Let's start it off with GAY.com. We haven't heard that joke before. All right. So, how fan-based projects are helping preserve video game history. All right, this is kind of a long one. Like I said, this is... actually, I want to put the... Actually, no. Yeah, we'll put the... Oops. We'll put the two big ones up front. Okay, so we're going to be talking about these fun mods and fan projects that keep these retro games alive or just keep video games alive, period. So let's try to get through it as best we can. Alright, video game history is in danger of disappearing. There are many reasons for this. From cartridge rot and optical disc degradation through to a lack of consideration of the future on the part of developers or publishers, rather than a concerted industry-wide effort to tackle this. However, preservation efforts are largely piecemeal, taken on by a variety of passionate groups and organizations. Some of my favorite examples have been spearheaded by the gaming community, by fans. So, there's the guy's opening statement, so let's see what else he has to say. The lay of the land. These efforts have often been at odds with archaic and rigid copyright law, meaning that many of the third parties and fan teams looking to save or recompile data before it disappears have essentially been working illegally or at best in legal gray areas. More formal organizations dedicated to preserving games history have also made progress, but it is by its very nature piecemeal. These include the Video Game History Foundation and the Games Preservation Society. The Library of Congress has also increased efforts to preserve video games, now housing over 3,500 titles within its collection. Unfortunately, no single organization has the capacity to contain all of video games history, leaving significant questions about how preservation should be handled. Even on a publisher-by-publisher basis, there are numerous issues. One would assume that developers would keep their source code safe for potential future use, but as Frank Cifaldi, a video game historian, told Eurogamer in 2014, one of the scariest unpublished truths is that video game developers and publishers are, on average, kind of bad at hanging on to their source code. Gary's Mod, anyone? Just kidding. Yeah, we see it all the time. Bootleg games, mods, this, that. I mean, some companies are just giving you their development kit so you can make your own type of games and stuff, like the Unity engine or the Epic engine or the Unreal engine, the Crytek engine. Instead of people just actually going in there and taking the source code, they just want you to start from the very beginning. A high-profile example of this was Kingdom Hearts creator Tetsuya Nomura admitted in an interview with Square Enix that the source code for the original Kingdom Hearts had been completely lost since its creation in the early 2000s. In remastering the series, the title had to be rebuilt from the ground up. If a game as high-profile as Kingdom Hearts can lose what Cifaldi likens to the master print of a movie, then this is likely to be a widespread problem. And yeah, it's been a problem for ever since video games were created. I can bet you. So, and Kingdom Hearts is a game that's a standalone single-player retail release that can be compiled and run without the need for active servers or authentication. When the age of MMOs dawned and then eventually blossomed to the world of games as a service, things became much more complicated. Digital-only releases have a number of issues too. Take Nintendo's Satellaview, a Japan-only console peripheral for the Super Famicom that launched in '95. The system allowed for weekly games to be broadcast via satellite directly to the console. I did not know this existed, by the way. These included ports and remakes of the popular Nintendo titles such as The Legend of Zelda, Harvest Moon, and Super Mario. I did not know that. That's interesting. Food for thought. The experimental nature of the device meant that no physical copies of the games were ever produced, and once the service was discontinued, the games were presumed lost and unplayable. This, however, was not the case, as a team of Zelda enthusiasts came together to compile and upload The Legend of Zelda, The Ancient Stone Tablets. The game was a little like a remix of Link to the Past, but featured a brand new story, and is only playable via a compatible emulator in the illegally collated ROM. Fans have even released translation patches so you can play the game in a variety of languages. Whether Nintendo, a meticulous company if there ever was one, still has the source code for these titles is unknown, but in the absence of an official re-release, fans took it upon themselves to rediscover this slice of gaming history. Once the infringement of IP is ignored, it becomes increasingly hard to recover lost ground. Digital media IP expert Alex Tuddy explained to Wired. This means that companies like Nintendo must have rigid and clear rules around the use of their IP. In an interview with Waypoint, Reggie, the Nintendo Reggie, stands on the issue of fan games clear, explained the line is when an initiative crosses from being an homage to something that is monetizing our IP. Despite the majority of Nintendo fan games being non-monetary products, Reggie made clear that their stance extended to all commercial games, and any fans that sought to drive the direction of the IP were in violation of Nintendo's copyright policy. And yeah, we all know how strict Nintendo is on monetization. I mean, Jesus Christ, you post a Nintendo video on YouTube, it gets demonetized right away. Like, it just fucking A. Nintendo is ridiculous with this shit. Knights of the Old Gaming Republic. Many similarly missing games are only available because of the efforts of fan preservation. Titles like Thrill Kill and Lobo have been saved and uploaded by fans after being canceled. Many years after release, dedicated Star Wars fans also transformed Knights of the Old Republic 2 with a variety of mods, updates, and add-ons that improved the original story and added in a significant amount of previously cut content. And holy shit, it made it a ton better. Don't even play Knights of the Republic 2 for Xbox or Xbox One or whatever, backwards compatible. Just play it on PC and get the restored content mod. Holy crap, you will play one of the best games ever. Despite the ending still being a little crappy. Yeah, you can blame Microsoft for that. Chris Avallone, lead designer and writer of KOTOR 2, described the production cycle of the game as difficult, with months of programming and design time lost to poor time management and redesigns. Delays in production meant that the plans for the finale of the game were reduced significantly. A great deal had been designed for the endgame, but to meet the deadline, a lot of content was cut. Chris tells me, when the game was first released, intrepid fans found evidence of this within a number of cut assets in the game files. These assets ultimately led to the creation of enduring fan patches that redesigned and re-implemented the original planned ending. What they did was beyond what we had planned and was better for it, Chris admits. Oh, you see? If professionals can't do it, let other people do it for you. That knows how to preserve this, how to get it done. Take it out of your hands. Just relax and just let us take care of the rest. You've done enough. Let the next batter go up. Underscoring how important fan contributions were to an enduring popularity of the game. There are many games that resound with people. It's their appreciation that makes all the difference. Fans want to preserve games they love. They love this. Okay, that's weird. This love has helped KOTOR 2 come closer to reaching its true potential, and it's contributed to its enduring legacy. Oh, here's another one. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines was a similarly convoluted title released unfinished in 2004 due to rising production costs and a distended development cycle. Excuse me. Oh, I'm burping. Several areas were unfinished or cut entirely from the game, and many quests were broken yet accessible. It wasn't until the combined efforts of fans that Bloodlines reached cult status, as a variety of patches created by Dan Upright and Werner Spall worked to restore missing content and a plethora of quest weaponry and characters. In a 2013 interview with Eurogamer, Spall described how the fan community came together, providing advice, bug fixes, and scripts. As he worked to rebuild the game, the patch has become so integral to Bloodlines that it is now bundled with GOG copies of the game. Without the preservation efforts of fans, Bloodlines would likely never have become a beloved and integral part of video game history. As mentioned earlier, online games present another hefty issue for games preservation due to the need for a constantly maintained and updated server. Many MMOs have an inbuilt shelf life for this reason, and once developer support has ended, players can no longer access vital content. Of course, these games are constantly evolving anyway, so we can retroactively only hope for a snapshot from their life, but there's still plenty of reasons to attempt to do just that. One interesting example is Maxis The Sims Online. The legacy of this title is now in the hands of Rise, a hobbyist, developer, and longtime Sims fan, who has re-implemented The Sims Online as a free-to-play online title known as Free SO. Free Sims Online. Rise experienced The Sims Online for the first time in 2008 after it had been reimagined as EA Land, a free-to-play game that's promised frequent content updates. Unfortunately, just 3 weeks after joining, the project was shut down and abandoned by EA. Because it's fucking EA. EA sucks giant balls. Anyway, moving on. Even so, it made an instant impression. What I played of the game was nothing like I'd ever played before or after, he tells me. It ended up leaving so much of an impact that bringing it back was always on my mind. Free SO is run by Rise with the aid of a dedicated team of programmers, scripters, artists, and remeshers who work to maintain the server and provide frequent updates to the game. While the project is still in beta, it has attracted a concurrent player base of around 100, whom Rise described as very dedicated and ecstatic to see the game return. I emphasize growing up, The Sims Online was a haven for me, a chance to interact with new friends in a digital community and become fully immersed in the world of The Sims. Online gaming was an emerging platform in the early 2000s, but has become ever more integral since. These virtual worlds were home to an astonishing number of concurrent players, but many of the titles have paved the way for the current generation of games have long since disappeared, leaving a distant gap in video game history. With strict copyright laws and only rare exceptions to unfair rulings, many fan-based video game restorations exist with a legally gray area and are often at risk of being shut down completely. Legal threats from developers have ended years-long passion projects from enthusiastic and dedicated fans looking to preserve the magic behind their favorite games. Even so, there are success stories that are out there, and they are making a difference. Coming back to The Sims Online after so many years away, for instance, feels a lot like coming home. I might not be the same gamer I was back then, but there's a certain magic in revisiting a title I once held so dear. It's heartening to know that there are people out there that care enough to dedicate themselves to restoring lost games, to help preserve slices of video game history even without the support of the industry. Okay, so that was a big, long article. And, I completely agree. If this is something that people want to do, if this is something that people want to risk in preserving something, whether it be legal or illegal, look, I can understand it might hurt the gaming industry in maybe some way, in some financial way, but it might actually help as well, because if you keep a game preserved and alive, people are going to want to buy that game still. People are going to want to play those games again. Like I said, KOTOR 2, Bloodlines. KOTOR 1 with the Aperion mod, which was sadly discontinued, by the way, which was going to be the most fucking epic thing ever. Seriously, Knights of the Republic would have been so fucking great to play that game again. But we'll get into that in a second. But preserving games is important. You don't have to actually just do mods or restore content or anything like that, patches. You don't even have to do that. Just playing the game. And you know what? The great thing we have is the internet. And what can we do with games to keep them alive, to preserve them with the internet? You stream them. You upload videos of them on YouTube. You stream it on Twitch. You talk about it. You do articles on it. You talk. Nothing ever dies for good. There's always someone going to be out there that's going to keep this shit alive. And I think that's great. Even if it's an underrated game, they always get they're cult classics. They get a cult following, which is always great. Those are a smaller group of people that are super dedicated fans to keeping this stuff alive. Believe it or not, I bet you anything, how many people did play KOTOR 2 compared to when Halo 2 came out? But KOTOR 2 had such a strong cult following, despite its lack of content missing, that now you can play the game to its fullest capacity, or about 95%. There's still some things, with like the ending, like I was mentioning before. But the game is fantastic. Same thing with all the other games that people are doing, like mods for Skyrim. Look how many fucking mods for Skyrim there are. And Fallout, or just anything Bethesda. Like, look how many mods there are for Skyrim. Like, Skyrim is the most kawaii desu when it comes to mods. Not proper way of using that, but I'm sorry. But look at that game. That game has been kept alive since 2011, and there's still millions of people playing that game, because you can play it on the 360. You can play it on your Switch. You can play it on PS3. You can play it on PC. You can play it on PS4 Special Edition, Xbox One. It's crazy. VR, for fuck's sake. It has been kept alive thanks to you guys, which is amazing, because playing Skyrim modded is a beautiful thing. And I am so glad that there are just so many dedicated people out there that are just keeping this stuff alive, despite the risk of being shut down, losing everything. People won't forget that stuff. People don't forget the hard-earned stuff. I'll never forget about the time and effort that the people behind making the Knights of the Republic 1 Aperion mod being shut down. I think it's bullshit. We're going to get into this now. We're going to be talking about the Aperion mod, and it's a perfect example. They've been working on this mod for the past 3.5 years to 4 years, and it got shut down about half a week ago. And it's a terrible thing. It's a traumatizing thing for especially the people that were working so diligently. And by the way, they weren't getting paid for this. They were doing this for fun. It was non-profit, no monetization or anything. These were just modders doing it for fun. But if you want to support them and donate money, that's your decision. It's not them yeah, if you want to play this mod, you got to pay for it. No, you would only have to buy the actual game from BioWare and EA. And then the mod would be free. And that's the problem. Even in their statement, the official letter to the Aperion mod team from EA or Lucas, actually it was LucasArts, saying that, hey, this game that you're making, they had something about them making a game. They weren't making a game. They were just making it better. It was just a nice fresh coat of paint. Nothing was being changed. Not really. It was just, graphics. That's it. Everything else would have been kept the same. But because of those people that don't do the research, they just see somebody just bitches about it. I'm like, hey, what are you guys doing? I'm going to report you. And this is how it happens. This is how it happens. It just ends it so suddenly. But you know what? I would just make it anyway and just face the music. The show must go on, you know? But anyway, that's just an example. It's crazy that people just let them do it. Just let them do it. Like Halo Online. Like something that was a game developed by fans, taking source codes from the original Halo Online that 343 was going to support, but they decided not to do it. And I know copyright this, copyright that, you know, I know there's ethics involved, but at the same time, just like sometimes you should just let it happen. I mean, they're not making any money off of it. So what the fuck is the big deal? Just demonetize it. That's all you have to do. YouTube's so good at demonetizing shit, and so is Nintendo. I mean, this is a way to keep your fans happy by letting them have more free roam. I mean, as soon as they start making money, then that's a problem. And that's a problem. Like when it, like, you know, illegally making money, like selling it to the audience. But if it's free, let it be free, man. I mean, this is just what you guys have done to. It mainly starts from the game you play. It's not us. We're the end result. We're the effect. The causes are the games that are missing the content or deserve this content or was so great that we want to keep it alive. It's because of you guys that we want to continue keeping this stuff alive. And why is that why is it so wrong? We're not pirating. We're not selling illegal copies of this or something, you know? We're not doing that. But anyway, it's going to be a never-ending thing. But, you know, guys, keep it up. Keep up the good work. I'm glad there's still people working diligently on this. You know, it's just amazing how fans have done this content mod stuff for Knights of the Republic 2, but LucasArts didn't, like, cancel that or anything, but they canceled the Empyrean mod. What the fuck is up with that? Anyway, that's just such a gray area. I'm sure you can look up the true reason why it actually got canceled. Probably because EA sucks at making games. So, that was a fun thing to talk about. Alright, let's get to the next one. Oh god, this is another big one. Actually, I'm going to go to a smaller one just to catch my breath. Alright, so this one is another EA article. This one's called EA Exploring Command & Conquer Remasters for Series 25th Anniversary. So, why do I want to talk about this? Well, Command & Conquer has been for the past, I don't know, maybe like 10 years? Or when's the last Command & Conquer game that came out? All I know is that Command & Conquer was dead for a while, and we didn't see anything from it. So this is why it's important to me, because a lot of people are probably really excited to see Command & Conquer come back. Wasn't there a mobile version of this game coming out? Anyway, so let's just read the article to be sure. So, EA wants to hear feedbacks from fans. That's because EA doesn't know how to think for themselves, unless there's a dollar sign in front of them. EA is considering remastering the original Command & Conquer PC games for the series' 25th anniversary, which arrives September 2020. Here's the thing. Fucking do it, bitch! As most of you may know, we recently announced Command & Conquer Rivals. Oh, here it comes. A mobile game set in the Command & Conquer universe. Fucking idiots. Electronic Arts producer Jim Vasella posted on Reddit yesterday. Following the reveal of Rivals, we heard you loud and clear. The Command & Conquer community also wants to see the franchise return to PC. And as a fan of C&C for over 20 years, I couldn't agree more. That guy was probably like, fuck, a mobile game? With that in mind, we've been exploring some exciting ideas regarding remastering the classic PC games, and already had the ball rolling on our first effort to celebrate the upcoming 25th year anniversary. Vasella, who helps produce Command & Conquer 3 and Red Alert 3, and was the lead producer of Kanye's Wrath, Kanye's Wrath, bitches, wrote that interacting with fans was one of his favorite parts of his job. To that end, the producer added that he was every bit as passionate about Command & Conquer as its fans are and wants to hear their thoughts. We are eager to hear your feedback to help influence our current thoughts for PC and what comes next, he wrote. Over the next few weeks, we'll be talking to fans in a variety of ways. In the meantime, please share your thoughts here on the subreddit. Responding to a fan post, Vasella added that there will be no microtransactions in any Command & Conquer remaster. Well, Let's see what happens in 2020. Anything can happen. Anything can happen in that a lot of time. Elsewhere in the thread, Vasella told partner fan that EA already had the ball rolling on things and would be releasing more details in the near future. So, what does this mean for you Command & Conquer fans? Well, this is good news, because if Vasella sticks to his guns and fights the good fight and fights to not have microtransactions in this game, then this is a way to bring back the franchise, and this is great. I mean, a remaster is great. They made a ton of Command & Conquer games. And you know what? I've never been too much of a fan of Command & Conquer, but I did have my fair share of play of it. I mean, I was at my friend's dad's house in California maybe about a decade ago, visiting them, and they had Command & Conquer for the PlayStation 1. And I was just playing that game with them. And it was pretty fun. Even playing it on consoles. Can you believe that shit? And I know how much this game means a lot, because for people who didn't like StarCraft or Warcraft, Command & Conquer was that other game that really brought the RTS genre to its greatest peak. It definitely helped. I don't think it made it worse, because like I said, there was a lot of people that were really into this, and a lot of production value came into these games. And like I said, I hope it does happen. No microtransactions. If you're doing a remaster, just don't change anything too much. Just give it a fresh coat of paint. Just make it look pretty, nice, updated. That's fine. You can do a StarCraft classic. Who cares? It's fine. People will enjoy that either way. Just make it to where PCs nowadays can run it, or can use it and utilize it. Keep it up to date, like 4K, 1080p, all these different options. Stuff like that. Just modernize it. Just keep it up to date. All right. See, that wasn't too bad. Is this another long one? God damn it. Well, not too long. All right. Boobs. The next generation of streaming video games is on the way. Oh, God. Oh, God. This is really funny because it's Google's Project Stream. Newsflash. Google owns YouTube. Why the fuck would they have another one? YouTube was their streaming platform. What the fuck, Google? Double dipping, maybe? I don't know. Oh, okay. I get what's going on here. Okay, so it's a streaming service, which is kind of like your Xbox Play Anywhere or Xbox Play Pass, PlayStation Network streaming, stuff like that. Okay, so this isn't actually like another platform like Twitch or YouTube Live. This is actually another streaming game service that you can join their thing. Okay, there's a specific kind of frustration associated with crappy game streaming services. It's all about the build-up. You find a game, whether it's boobs, something brand new, or a long-lost childhood favorite, and boot it up. It takes forever to load. The title screen stutters and your heart stops, but it's easy to convince yourself it was about the preliminary jitters. Then the game begins and stops and starts up again and stops. The dialogue is chopped. Animations are disconnected. Any type of action scene is impossible to control. Your character is killed 5 times in 10 minutes, and you're simultaneously filled with rage and an acute sense of loss. By the way, I haven't gone through this. You exit out the streaming service and spend the night playing Fortnite again. Ugh! Triggered! That's been the story with so many streaming services over the year, from online to GeForce Now. However, this entire ecosystem is poised to change. After years of impossible promises and half-baked public trials and an incomplete online ecosystem, streaming services are finally viable. And major companies like Google and Microsoft are teasing the future of the industry. Earlier this month, Google launched the beta for Project Stream, a service that pledges to seamlessly run any video game on any laptop or PC. We've heard this promise before, but it looks like Google actually gets it done. The Project Stream beta is limited to one title for now: AC Creed Odyssey. A massive open-world game that landed this month across all modern platforms, and apparently in the Chrome browser of my 2015 MacBook Air. After checking my internet connection, Google recommends at least 25 megabits per second. Okay, that's really nothing. Project Stream booted up with the Assassin's Creed, and I was instantly transported to a mountainous battlefield in ancient Greece. The game performed beautifully with slight popping and pixelization every now and then, but rarely to the point of interrupting the actual gameplay. I played Odyssey for a few hours in 2 separate locations and saw the same results. The game stopped once at each locale, my house and my dad's, complete with a page saying I need a stronger internet connection to continue. Each time, Project Stream ran a connection check, and after a few minutes, everything was back up to par. I resumed my game from right where I left off, wildly flailing my sword at hordes of sandaled enemies, and didn't experience any interruptions afterwards. My internet connection was just, by the way, we're right here, was just strong enough to sustain Project Stream, and a small yellow icon at the bottom right of the screen reminded me that because of this fact, the game could pause at any moment. However, after those initial pauses, it didn't. The actual game ran smoothly and only stopped when my connection became too precarious to continue, keeping the core experience completely intact. It never felt like Project Stream was impeding my gameplay in any way. This is a remarkable achievement, especially now considering how Sony's streaming service, PlayStation Now, chugs on my home internet connection, making even a game like Lego Harry Potter unplayable. And by all means, if wireless card, the network card in PlayStation 4 is garbage. If you're doing wireless, it's really bad. And that's on the PS4, a console that's built to run the latest and greatest AAA games around. With Project Stream, my internet connection was the problem, while the service itself ran Assassin's Creed Odyssey in the Chrome browser of my MacBook Air with aplomb. Google isn't the only company making huge strides in video game stream. Microsoft's recently Project X Cloud, a service with a distinct emphasis on bringing AAA games to mobile devices. Oh boy, I can't wait. Ultimately, Project X Cloud is about providing gamers, whether they prefer console or PC, new choices in when and where they play, while giving mobile-only players access to worlds, characters, and immersive stories they haven't been able to experience before. Microsoft's CVP of Cloud Gaming, Kareem Cowdrey, explained in his blog post. All right, let's get to the conclusion. Okay, much like Netflix forever changed the way we consume TVs and movies, Project Stream, Project X Cloud, or whatever Sony cooks up could be the catalyst that ushers the video game industry into a new era of play. However, game discs aren't going anywhere just yet. It's likely to take a handful of years and at least one more console generation before streaming surpasses local downloads as the norm. There's room for all these services and others to succeed when it comes to video game streaming. The near future finally looks bright. Hey, if you like digital stuff, by all means. I mean, that's why people prefer PC, because you don't have to have a physical copy of it, but you can get physical copies for the games you do really want, and they can be display stuff. But other than that, PC is great because you just get to play it right away. Still make a ton of money, company-wise, the games doing it. But that's for PC, right? If I as a console gamer too, I actually like having physical copies of the game. Now, let's just say if there's like a really, really big deal on like PlayStation or Xbox for a game that I really want, I'll make the sacrifice. And if I really want a physical, I just get a replacement case. It's like $8 or something, $5 to $10. They're not expensive. But other than that, I don't see game discs going anywhere fast. Do you see books going anywhere fast? No, because a gazillion people still read books. We still use books to this day, textbooks. Even if the stuff is online, that you can take your classes online, you don't have to go to school sometimes, and you don't even need books half the time. But sometimes the online courses require books. So, just like books, discs aren't going to go anywhere as well. I mean, people are still making DVDs. There are still companies out there making DVDs. How long have DVDs been out for compared to VHS? The same, maybe? I don't know. But, I mean, they don't make any more VHS tapes, but they're still making DVDs and Blu-rays. There hasn't been really anything after that that has bested Blu-ray, because Blu-ray is pretty fucking amazing still. And that technology's been out for like 10 years now, and DVDs have been out for like 15 years or even longer. I mean, shit. Just using discs for games has been around for like 20 years now, or longer than that. Way longer than that. What am I talking about? I mean, we used to use floppy disk. Floppy disk was the thing, but that was soon replaced by cartridges or actual CD disc, actual CDs. I mean, they're not going to go away anytime soon. I don't care what you guys say. Despite how popular digital will be, there will always be physical for the longest time, just like there will always be physical books. I mean, physical anything that has gone digital. It's always going to be there. I mean, look at our mailing system. I mean, there's emails, you can get emails, instant messaging, social media to communicate, but people still send letters. People still get their mail physically. There's no like digital service to where we can like make something out of like a matter creator, and they're like, okay, it's here, instant delivery. There's still plenty of things that we've been doing for a very, very long time, and it hasn't gone away yet. even with the new technology. And stuff like this isn't going to go away, you know? Like TVs being like an actual physical device and like you can carry and stuff. They're still going to be around. I mean, people would rather use TVs than projections, you know? Like, it's just crazy. It's just crazy, you know? So, you know, this is great. Like I said, there are plenty of people that probably do use streaming services, like especially for like Netflix, Hulu, if you have like a Kindle Fire or something like that, or a Roku or something like that. That's very, very useful to have streaming services, right? Very useful. But in the gaming universe, like I said, I think it's just great that we have all these different ways of playing games. Like I said, me personally, I like to own these licenses. I like to own the rights of these games. I like to have this purchase, you know, as a consumer and as, you know, one who respects capitalism. I like to own this shit. I don't want them to be like, hey, sorry everybody, our streaming server's gonna be shut down, so all the money you paid is going up the shitter. You can't play these games anymore. Then what do? You know, they can easily get rid of that shit like in a snap of a finger. So that's why I stay away from streaming services. Now, like I said, in the beginning, I thought this was an actual, like, oh, another Twitch or YouTube Live. But it's not. It's just it's just another platform to stream your games. So, think what you will on that. So, that's the next generation of streaming video games is on its way. Okay, so this article, damn it, I really wanted to touch base on this. I'll just show you the article. It was video game collecting tips for beginners. And it's a pretty decently long article. I mean, look at this shit. All these tips. Okay, so I guess I mean, I don't have to go so far in depth. I can actually just read like the bold lettering. Okay, so video game collecting tips for beginners, and there's plenty. Okay, so buy what you like. Knowledge is money, so start learning. Tell everyone you know. Find your local community. Conventions are the single best place. Learn to haggle. Use every source at your disposal. Keep track on what you have. Buying and selling is okay. Don't do stuff that isn't working. Know how to spot fakes. To be continued. Okay, so let's just start with this. Buy what you like. Okay. So if you're somebody who wants to go in and you want to buy RPGs, buy RPGs. You want to be someone who wants to buy every Castlevania game, go in there looking for Castlevania games. Buy something that you're going to be proud of, because chances are these collecting items that you're getting aren't going to be cheap. They're going to be like the common price for like a $60 game you see today. If and only if it, you know, depends on the game you're getting. I mean, if you're getting like box retro games and stuff like that, they're going to be a little bit more pricier. And just with anything box of retro, is going to be more pricier. But you got to be careful. So spend your money wisely. Buy things that you know you're going to play, that you know you're going to respect, that you're not going to regret spending countless money. I bought Suikoden 2 for $130 fucking dollars because you can't find that game anywhere for cheaper because everybody's an asshole online. Seriously, like, it's ridiculous. The only time I've ever spent that much money on a game that I really wanted to play. And the game is amazing. It's a perfect fucking game, Suikoden 2. I could easily have played it on a PlayStation emulator, but emulating games is not as cool as playing it on an actual console. I'm sorry. If you're a speedrunner, I understand, but if you're not, just having the just the authentic feel of the game is just so much better. But yeah, don't go in there and just trying to spend your money just to spend money. Don't be an idiot. Don't impulse buy. Just think about what you're trying to get yourself into. And I hope this is what it's talking about. Okay, so the next one is knowledge is money, so start learning. This is what I was talking about. The collecting stuff is not cheap. You have to look at so many different platforms, so many different websites, so many different stores to find out that you're not getting gypped, that you're not being overcharged. People overcharge all the fucking time. On eBay, you see shit overcharged for no apparent reason, and you always ask yourself, like, what the fuck is this so overcharged? But sometimes it's priced that way for a purpose and for a perfectly good reason. It's depending on the economical climate, on how the gaming industry is going, what's popular right now in the retro, and what people are playing. There's so many things that tie into it. You have to look at that stuff like a lot. Like, the gaming climate is always changing, just like with anything. There's always inflation. There's always, you know, stuff that's super cheap. And people, big time bidders or sellers know this. I mean, for the most part, do your research. Go on Amazon. Go on eBay for starters. Go in these stores, compare prices, and then maybe you can haggle your way. Maybe you can be like, I see it on here for $20 cheaper. Let's talk shop. Let's talk price. Can we meet in the middle or something? You know? So you got to be very careful. Very careful, because just because you're going in there with a happy face because of the game you found doesn't mean that the merchant is going to go easy on you. Like, some people like to do intimidation stuff. This is basically pawning. Have you seen Pawn Stars? Watch Pawn Stars. Watch how haggling works and how it fails. All right, next one. Tell everyone you know. Okay. So, if you want to start collecting video games, network out. Let people know. Go on every social media device, every platform you have. Let your friends know, because you never know. They might have games for you that you want to buy from them. They could sell it for cheaper, or they can give you useful advice, useful tips. They might actually be collectors themselves. They could get you on your way. They could find the perfect opportunity to help you out. And if they're loyal or honest friends, then good for you. If they're assholes and liars, then fuck them. So, yeah, take it with a grain of salt. I mean, I have Deal as a collector. My best friend David Deal is a collector himself. I'm a collector in my own way for strategy guides. And other stuff, gaming memorabilia, but he's collected all the Ultima games, and he spent quite a bit of money on it. He's got EverDrive cartridges for Super Nintendo, N64, and the old Nintendo. He's got every game, but he's collected that, and it's not cheap. He's got a bunch of retro stuff he bought. It's stuff like that that can help you and really, really help you narrow down like what's a good price, and So find your local community. Yeah. It's the same thing. Just find, if you have people close by that collect and know what they're doing, then yeah, go talk to them. Go talk to them. Don't be afraid to do it, because they might save you a hefty price that you're desperately willing to pay. Anything to fight impulses. Conventions are the single best place. So conventions, and not just conventions, actually, what is it? You can find stuff at yard sales. What is swap meets? Swap meets. You can find great retro collecting stuff. Anything that's an extravagant place that contains multiple merchants and selling stuff, chances are you're going to find a merchant who's got so many stuff they've collected over the years that they will sell you it. And it won't be that expensive, hopefully. But usually they're not that expensive. And they got a ton of stuff for you to look through. They got their fucking consoles are just lying in boxes, in crates, just collecting dust, waiting for someone to buy, to fix, or whatever. So, finding the source, the hornets, the beehive, the cream of the crop. Yeah, go into those big places like conventions, swap meets, yard sales. I'm telling you guys, you go to these places, you will be shocked on what you could find. I've been to a yard sale of a guy selling a Super Nintendo for $20 fucking. And well, this was a while ago. This is maybe like 10 years ago, but still, it caught me by surprise. I was like, shit, if I had $20, I would have bought this shit. But I didn't. Learning to haggle, also very important. Like I said, this is where your research comes into play. You let them know what you want to get, and if you feel like you're being gypped on what the price is, you ask them. I'm like, I don't think this is a good price. I found it on eBay. I found it on Amazon for $20 cheaper. It's not that you're being. You just gotta. Haggling is hard because, as the article suggests, you don't want to come out rude. You don't want to come out like an asshole, like you're ripping me off, bro. I'm like, no, man. You just let them know the facts in a respectful manner. Even if it comes out bad or wrong, if you provide just facts, though, as a nervous wreck or as a shy type or just really aggressive or something, at least it's true. At least what you're saying is true, and you can show them. Make sure you have your source up and ready to show them. Maybe you can get something out of it, You never know. And just try a couple times. Don't push too hard. If you push too hard, they're not going to want to even sell the product to you because it's kind of ruined. Yeah, so let's see. Use every source at your disposal. So this just means that everything that you could possibly think of, you should use. The internet, books, your friends, your cat, your wiener. No, not your wiener. But you get the idea. Use everything. Keep track of what you have. Yeah. Okay. So like if you're a big time collector and you have too much shit, just don't. If you're gonna buy the same shit over and over, just be careful. You don't want to do that. You don't want to go that far to that end, to where you don't even know how to keep track of your own stuff. Don't go that far. Just keep it nice and pleasant. Don't get obsessed about it. You can be obsessed about it, but don't be obsessed to the point to where you don't even know what the fuck you're doing. Buying and selling is okay. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with buying this stuff and selling it again, because sometimes you have to spend money to make money. What if you're trying to buy something that you found cheap and then somehow it turns out to be a really priceless jewel, and then you sell it online and you get more money out of it? Or you're trying to get more money to build up some kind of credibility to buy something else. I don't know. You got to use your imagination. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. People will pay a good price for this stuff. And so don't do stuff that isn't working. Yeah, guys, this is obvious. If this shit's not working, if you're bad at collecting, if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. Just stop. Ask for help first, and if that doesn't even help, then you're effed. So yeah, good luck. Good luck. Yeah, if you're going to a store that doesn't have what you're looking for, like a Goodwill or a convention or a swap meet, chances are you're not gonna find it too much. Just move on, look for something else. Know how to spot fakes. So this is very important too, because this is where the honesty comes in, because the merchants are supposed to spot fakes when people try to sell them fakes. They have to look carefully, but not everybody's perfect. There's always hits and misses. There's false positives, okay? So false positives is that you think it's real, but it turns out to be fake, and that was the miss. You made a mistake, and it's on your shelf, and you're gonna be selling it to somebody. That's how you lose customers. So a random customer can come in and be like, yeah, I want to buy this, and the merchant's like, okay, well, it's gonna be this price, and you could buy it and then play it, and then you're fucked, and it doesn't work. I don't think they might test it, but I'm not entirely sure. Go in there carefully, ask them those important questions. But you guys game tested, you play tested. How do you know? How do you spot your fakes? Test their knowledge. Ask them those important questions if you're gonna do this stuff, because fakes are very common when it comes to collecting. Because people will make anything to sell anything for $1 on the internet, in person, you name it. So anyway, I'm glad we got through this. I'm pretty sure I got through this pretty well. That is this. Video game collecting for tips for beginners. But anyway, folks, I hope you did enjoy this take of the NIKO Show. I have been your host, NikoTheLegend. If you did enjoy, follow me on the Twitch channel. Check out my YouTube as well. And I will be streaming Castlevania momentarily after this, so stick around. Thanks for everybody stopping by. I hope to hear what you guys have to say afterwards. Enjoy your night. Have a good time. Wear a condom.